Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a great day. I was not planning on doing this live today. I had another live planned, but some new information has come out in this case. I did this read yesterday morning. I think it was released at around 11:30 yesterday morning. Summer Dawn, there she is. You finally got the notification. Awesome. Good morning, K. Mitch. Good morning, everybody. So, I was going to do, there's been a new document dump on the Brian Kohlberger case, and that's what I was planning on doing. There you go. So, hopefully, things have straightened out with YouTube. Everybody getting notifications. All right. Hello. Welcome. So, like I said, I wanted to go over what's come out in the Brian Kohlberger. I will probably do that tomorrow. Vera Ray, hello and good morning. Teeny, good morning. Teeny. So, I had been going through yesterday after my read was posted to YouTube. I had been going over some information. Let me just pull it up here. Hang on. Boom. Here we go. Okay, so 2 days ago. Are you kidding me? I can't see it. Okay, hang on a sec. Let me see. Now I've got to find it. Because it's not letting me go back to the news outlet that I had gotten the first information from yesterday. Oh my gosh, TK Sass. Holy crap. Okay, so let me just find this statement that initially was given. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Well, he has moved out now. He did move out, I think, the very next day. That's what I'm trying to get right now. So let me just find the information and before anybody brings it out, and let me tell you what else I found. This lawyer, I'm telling you. Okay, so initially the lawyer had made a statement saying that the friend had no idea that they were even still there, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to go over this because what I found out after that read was that apparently the three men's wallets and keys were left inside the house when they were outside. Like, who does that? Who goes to a friend's house and leaves their wallet and car keys and obviously cell phones, because they couldn't call nobody, inside of their friend's residence? And number one, thank you, Summer. This was unexpected, so let me just get my paper down. Summer, you are entered into the Valentine's Day draw. Just let me get this written down. And I will show you guys that in a minute. If you do want to be entered, any super chat of $10 or more, just like Summer did right there, gets you an entry. I will show you what the draw is going to be on. February 14th, I'm going to have it live. I will show you that as soon as I'm done with this. Maybe I should do it now before. Oh, I've got all my junk all over my desk here, you guys, because I was doing some diamond painting before I was going to go live. Hang on a sec. Oh, it's not totally finished yet. I've got a lot of stuff in so far. Here it is right here. Thank you, Summer Dawn. I appreciate you. So this is the basket here. Don't mind my other junk on the table here. I was doing some diamond painting. But this is just some of the stuff that is going to be in there. There's a really nice gold tone cross. There's a bunch of stuff. Some chakra bracelets, evil eye bracelet, some chocolates, some rose chocolates, a cup, a deck of Ancestor cards. Not Ancestor, sorry, Oracle cards. There's little protective stones, everything in here. I'm going to have a whole lot more in here. I'm not done with it, you guys. Okay. So let me turn my camera back off so you guys don't have to look at my mess. So that is what I'm going to be drawing on February 14th. So that's out of the way. So thank you, Summer. You are entered into the draw, my dear. Okay, so he initially said all this stuff, right? He doesn't know what happened. As far as he knew, like his friends had gone outside, whatever, and then he went to bed. Well, if your friends are still there and just went outside, you must have seen what door they went out, number one, and knew they were out in the backyard. And then you just go to bed with friends still there? Doesn't make any sense. And on top of that, you go to bed, say he didn't realize that they went out the back door, which I find there's just so much in this case, you guys. I find totally no way it didn't happen. You know what door your friends went out. There's 3 big guys. These were big guys, right? So he's trying to project that they went outside, he went to bed. Okay. Even if that was true, their wallets, their keys, their cell phones were all still in the house and you didn't notice this 3 days later? Because this happened on Sunday, right? And who goes to bed with their friends still in the house? Number one. So their bodies weren't found until Tuesday, till one of the fiancés of one of the victims broke into the house. So why would you break into the house instead of just look? There's just so many things. Why didn't you hear people pounding on the door? But then 10 minutes after the girlfriend broke in, the police pound on the door and you hear them, but you didn't hear the girlfriend pounding on the door and then breaking into your house. A lot of people are saying, well, he had to have known because he let the dogs out to poop or whatever. The dogs were not there, apparently, from what I understand. That's been in some documents. The dogs were not there. So, and then you don't know for 3 days. Apparently, he had been going in and out for 3 days. And then the next day after the bodies are found, he moves out. Now, apparently, he is a scientist. He's working on a cure for AIDS or something like that. There's just too much around this. And the police are saying now, no foul play. So yesterday when I did the read, okay, yesterday morning I released it. I believe it was around noon yesterday. What came out in my read was that there was somebody else there that was not being talked about. So Terry and Casey said dogs were at his dad's house who has dementia. Okay. So I knew the dogs weren't there. Midnight. Hello. So, like I said yesterday, you guys, in my read, it came out, and that was the thumbnail. There was someone else there. Now, the lawyer never mentioned this ever before, okay? My read comes out, and then all of a sudden, guess what comes out last night? I'm going to bring this up. I'm not going to show the whole thing. I will read you parts of it. I will link this in the description. So if you want to go and read it for yourself, let me just copy it. I'm going to put it in chat also. There it is. But I am going to present this. Look what this says. Attorney says 5th person was at the Kansas City home where 3 men were found. This came out last night at 10:38 p.m. First posted at 9:49 p.m. right here, right? And then updated at 10:38, long after my read was done. So, Kansas City, 2 weeks ago, 3 men died at a home in Kansas City's Northland. Their bodies found in the backyard. Now Fox 4 is hearing from the attorney of the man who used to live in the home and has since moved out. Now, he had already come out and said, oh, I'm telling you everything that he knew, which was, well, I went to bed. They had left. I'd gone to bed. I was in and out. I didn't notice anything. What? You didn't notice their wallet and keys and cell phone still in the house, right? The attorney had made a statement already. So he's acting now like, okay, well, look at, oops, I forgot this. So they say last night at 10:38, now Fox is hearing from the attorney of the man who used to live there. The man's name is Jordan Willis. That there was a fifth person there. A family member of one of the victims isn't buying their story they're hearing either. It happened at a rental home near Northwest 83rd Terrace and North Overland Drive in Platte County. Police identified the 3 victims as 38-year-old Ricky Johnson, 36-year-old Clayton McGeeney, and 37-year-old David Harrington. There's the house. Fox had reported earlier that there was a U-Haul seen outside Jordan Willis's home, and now his attorney confirms with Fox 4 that he has in fact moved out and that there was a 5th person at the house with Willis and the 3 victims, and that his clients went to sleep while those 4 men were still up hanging out in the house. The chaos, yes, the chaos came out too. Catherine said, I was reading the other guy's phones. I read he was reading the other guy's phones. He saw the text people were sending them. Like, it just doesn't, I have not heard that, so I'm not going to, hang on, let me just get my studio opened here. Just give me a second, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to remove that, Catherine, because I have not verified that. So I don't want any non-verified information coming out here because people take this as gold. Please don't forget, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Anytime something new comes out, I am going to be bringing it to you. So go on out, hit that. We got 58 people here, 31 likes. Also, what I'm going to do right now, you guys, to give back to you guys a little bit. Just give me a second here. I am going to, whoops. There you go. I am 5 memberships right now. So if you're not, so congratulations everybody who got a membership gifted to them. Please go out, smash that like button, and come on back in. Congratulations, everybody. So you will now be able to see some members only stuff that I am planning on putting out. It's going to be a discussion and some other things happening there. I don't, I finally figured out how to do it, sister. Anyway, let's get back to this. So why didn't this attorney tell us about this 5th person that was there 2 weeks ago when he made his first comment saying, look it, and this is what the attorney said. This is all my client knows. This is what we can tell you. He never mentioned nothing about a 5th person. Nothing. 0. But now he's coming out. Exactly. One of those phones would have rang. Everybody was out. Sorry, I have to get that off. I can't use too much of it. I don't want to strike. There's no way that he did not know something was up the next day. When he wakes up, okay, he sees their phone and keys and wallets, but they're nowhere to be found in his house. How can somebody leave and their cars are still parked out front? How can they leave without their keys, their wallet, their cell phones? It doesn't make sense. And those of you who have a significant other, when have you ever gone to a friend's house and your significant other pull out his wallet and put it somewhere, like on a coffee table or something? When? What? When does that ever happen? And why would that happen? Right? There you go, K. Mitch. You're very welcome. I can gift 5 more. So my live that I will be doing on Friday, which is covering the Brian Koberger hearing, which is what I wanted to actually go on about today because there's a bunch of stuff going on there. New documents have come out. It's going to be interesting on Friday. It's later in the afternoon because the first hearing is closed and the afternoon session is open. So I will be able to live stream it to you guys right from the courtroom. So we'll be able to see everything that's going on. What does he look like now? What's going on? What's their demeanor? Stuff like that. But yes, multiple people calling this guy. He didn't hear his own phone, let alone their phones. He didn't see their wallets and phones and keys and their cars outside. Like, okay, you didn't see them out dead out in your backyard. But when you walked out your front door, you could see their cars. You seen that their wallets and everything were still in your house. Nothing is adding up. And now all of a sudden the attorney is coming out and saying, oops, we forgot. There was a 5th person there. Well, we already knew that because it came out in my read that I had done yesterday morning. And late last night, the attorney came out with this. Right? I would believe that I wouldn't want to live there either. If 3 of my friends were found deceased at my house, I would be moving out too. No, it's not Mark Means. His name is, it's in the description, John somebody or other. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see his name mentioned here, but his name is John something or other. So this new piece of information is part of the reason the families are frustrated, believing that still more than 2 weeks later, they haven't got the full story. And I believe they haven't either, because why did he fail to tell us about this 5th person the first time he spoke to the media? Oh, this is all my client knows. Obviously it wasn't. And obviously you're lying for your client. Just the, and the family is saying just the thought of them passing away and then him sitting inside in the cold for 2 days. Caleb McGreeny, the cousin of Clayton McGreeny, said it's extremely devastating. The whole family is messed up. He was such a good person. Yeah, and why does he feel like he needs a lawyer to begin with? And apparently, from what Terry is saying, the attorney listed John somebody or other with his first specialty is homicide criminal defense specialty. Why would he choose this type of lawyer? And when did he contact him prior to the bodies being found? We don't know when he was contacted. That we don't know. All we do know is he has gotten a lawyer and he moved out the next day on the Wednesday. It happened on the Sunday. The bodies were found on Tuesday. He moved out on Wednesday. Why would you need a lawyer if you did nothing wrong, especially one specializing in homicide and criminal defense? So what happened? When did it happen? How did it happen? These are questions the family still don't have answers to, right? Good morning, Marie. They want to know what led to their deaths. They were found in their friend's backyard 2 days after watching the Kansas City Chiefs last regular season game on January 7th. I'm just reading some of this in here. If you guys want to read it, I did post it in chat. Yeah, it's not adding up. 0% adding up. See, contrary to a statement released by attorney John Picerno on behalf of his client Jordan Willis, Picerno said Willis went to sleep and never saw the men leave. He changed that story. Now he claims Willis with Jordan, the friend that they were at, went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out in his home. When he would have people over at his house, yes, sometimes as people, they get tired. They're people that are very close to you and you feel comfortable going to bed and allowing them to leave when they want to leave. Picerno said, it's like, what? Wait a minute here. Now, I've caught on to something that was said in the prior statement. Okay, listen to this, you guys, because I'm going to want your opinion. This Jordan Willis had said, as per his attorney in his last statement, like a week or so ago, he said that after the game, he went to bed. Well, the game ended at like 6 or 7 o'clock, did it not? Who goes to bed at that time? Right? Ding, 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 ding. Red flags. Who goes to bed right after the game ends, which would be, I know it started at like 3 something. They say it ran for like just over 3 hours, which would bring us to around the 6, 7 o'clock at night mark. Who goes to bed that early? And then how do you not notice their keys, their phones, their wallets for the next 2 days still in your house and their cars out front and not think something is wrong? People are banging on your door, blowing up your phone, blowing up their phones. You don't hear any of this, but you've come and gone several times, you say? What? Okay, the next morning getting up, I'm going to give them that. Next morning getting up, oh, your friend's cars are outside. Okay, they were drunk. They'd been drinking. They took a cab home. They'll be back to get their cars. But how do they get their cars if their keys, wallets, and cell phones are still locked up in the house? How do they even call a cab? Right? Nothing is adding up here, you guys. Nothing. 0. And why didn't you mention this 5th person a week or so ago in your first statement? Why did you only mention it late last night, 10:30 at night, I believe it was? So now he is saying Picerno, which is the lawyer, said Willis, which is the friend's house, Jordan Willis, never left his home once he got back home Sunday. That's why he didn't notice the victims' cars were still there. So now he's saying that he didn't leave his house after the game. Okay, well, you work. You're a scientist. You didn't go to work at all? Monday, Tuesday, you didn't go to work? Yet the prior statement said that he had come in and out a few times and never noticed nothing askew. The stories are changing too much, you guys. Can you tell me where you've seen that? Because I don't see that anywhere. Okay, the attorney said he works from home. Yes, but the attorney had also said that he had come and gone from the house a couple times. That was said in one of the other statements a while back. DC 111, where did you say that? See that? Because right here last night, he said his story changed now. He claims Willis went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out in the home. Okay, let me see. Let me just see here, you guys. A News Nation story. Okay, let me just see if I got it here. And you can't even put a link here. I don't see it. I don't see that anywhere. But anyway, yes, this is a huge cover up. So I don't know where that is, DC. But I don't see it. So I'm sure, if that is a thing. So if he is saying that now, if, and I'm going to say if, you guys, if this is true, then that is even more questions, because now what he said last night, hang on. I'm going to show you right here. He has changed his story. This was last night. Claims Willis went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out in his home. That's what was said last night at 10:38 p.m. This came out after I did my read yesterday, where I said there was somebody else there. Okay? And it says right here, now he's changed his story, because he said that he's seen the guys go outside in the first statement. Now he's changed that story. He now claims Willis went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out. He's also changed his story here, where he says that once he got home on Sunday, he never went out again. Yet his last statement said he did come and go. Yes, this was just stated, Karen, DC. That's what we're going over right now. The attorney only stated that there was a 5th person last night. The interview that he did before, he did not state that. He did not state that in his last interview that he did. He said, this is what my client knows. That he went to bed, or he had seen them go outside or something like that. It's totally changed. He never mentions a 5th person until last night at 10:30. Now, that's why this came out last night at 10:30. He's changed that story. Now he claims Willis went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out in his home. So if what you're telling me now is that he walked them to the door and said goodbye, that's a 3rd story. Maybe a 4th. Okay? He's given 4 different accounts now about the last time he's seen them. Okay, so you've got people banging on his door. Okay, when the girlfriend goes there, or fiance of Greenie, she goes there because she can't get a hold of him. She's banging her heart's desire out on the door. He doesn't answer. She breaks in, goes through the house, I guess, and then sees him on the back deck, deceased. This guy still doesn't wake up, but she calls the cops. 10 minutes later, the cops are there and they bang on the door and he hears them. What? None of it makes sense. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. Links don't show up in my chat. They're blocked. Okay, hang on a sec. I'm not sure. That's why I've got to do, like, I don't think a lot of people understand how my ancestor read works. I connect with my ancestors. My ancestor connect with those who have crossed over because my ancestors have crossed over. So I rely on what my ancestors are trying to show me with the cards that have come out. I very seldomly connect with spirit that I don't know. I let my ancestors do that who have crossed over. I let them connect with those spirits and then give me information as to how these cards are supposed to connect. Okay. So my ancestors that have crossed over will show me something. If I'm questioning a card, if I'm not understanding why that card is there, if it's not, slapping me in the face as to why it's there, they show me an incident that's happened with one of my relatives or friends or whatever. And in that, it's giving me information as to why that card is there. This is what it has to do with. And I've got to put all that together. So sometimes, yes, it gets distorted because I didn't know what happened at all. I showed you guys yesterday in the read the information I had. That was it. So now that I know a lot of this stuff, my next read, I'm going to be able to decipher a lot better why certain cards are coming out. Whereas before I didn't understand because I didn't know the story, didn't know what happened. So what my ancestors do, they give a base. This is what happened. This is what you got to look for in your next reads. This is the information we're telling you that you can't see or you haven't heard. This is why it happened. Whatever information they give me is the base. You know what I mean? It's very hard to understand. Anyway, the attorney said Willis is free to give interviews, but as an attorney, he advises against it. Yes, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up, please. Oh, I do too. And they never give me bad information. Okay. Like I just blocked somebody because they said, oh, you owe everybody an apology because you were wrong in your ancestor read. My ancestor read is not open to interpretation by anybody but me. My ancestor cards are based off of my ancestors. Okay. You can get your own made by your elders based off of your own ancestors, right? But to tell me I need to apologize because I was wrong on this, this, and this. Well, no, I wasn't wrong. I was just not interpreting those cards properly within the read, but there was still so much in that read. And I believe this was the Soto case. That there were 3 people involved. Stuff like this. There was a whole bunch, I can't remember it now, but there was a whole bunch of stuff. And that's why I go in for updated reads. Just because I don't understand what my ancestors are trying to tell me what that card means, that's me bad. That's not my ancestors. My ancestors are giving me the right information. I'm just not getting it because I don't know the story. I don't know what transpired. If I would look, maybe I should start looking at information about cases before I do reads on them. But I don't like doing that because I don't want to be influenced by anything else. I want my ancestors to give me what they're going to give me based on the cards that come out. If I interpret it wrong, that's bad on me, not on my ancestors. That's bad on me. But yes, 90% they are accurate. Do I mess up? Yes, I mess up sometimes and maybe don't understand what they're trying to show me. And generally, I say that right in the read, like, I don't get this. It's not making sense to me. But they're telling me this for a reason because they know. They know everything that happened. I don't. So I'm only human. Okay. So for somebody to come on my channel and say, you owe us an apology, goodbye, you're blocked. I'm not even going to answer you. And the person had said they'd been with me for like 2 years, 2 or 3 years. Okay, so out of 2 or 3 years and all the reads I've done, there's one that I was maybe got one thing in that whole read wrong, or that didn't fit, or didn't fit the way I was trying to make it fit because I didn't understand what was going on. I'm what, wrong all the time now? Like, why were you here for 3 years then? So yeah, I'm not even giving people like that the time of day anymore. I'm just going to block them. And then to call my viewers delusional. That's it, done. So anybody that is on the channel, I don't let you guys attack. You can disagree as long as it's done respectfully. Don't attack. Don't do personal attacks. That's not tolerated here. Don't do them towards me or my subscribers, my mods, the people here. Even if you're not subscribed and you're in the chat and you say something, I expect nobody to attack you unless you're being rude or attacking somebody else. You're entitled to your opinion too, as long as it's done respectfully, and do not attack anybody, especially people in the chat or myself. That is stuff I don't. Yes, and please mask your words. Yeah, well, I mean, do you see, it is what it is, right? Especially in this genre on YouTube, it's expected. So, okay, so let's read a little bit more of this, I guess. He's saying that when he, it's this lawyer is trying to make it out. It's not unusual for people, they have people over they can trust. Well, if these were people he trusted, why didn't he mention the fifth person in one of your prior interviews? This only came out after my read, when my read said someone else was there. This came out last night. This is the first time he brings out. Attorney says fifth person was at Kansas City home. Look at the time, you guys. First on January 22nd at 9:49, and then they updated it at 10:38 p.m. 9 hours after my read. And that's why in my thumbnail from the read from yesterday, and that's the first read, I will be doing an updated read, it said someone else was there because my cards told me someone else was there. Is it that female? I don't know. I'm not going to know exactly who that person is. Well, now we know there was another male there. It'll come together in the updated reads, right? And it says right here, contrary to a Saturday statement released by the attorney on behalf of his client, Jordan Willis, now he is saying Willis went to sleep and never saw the men leave, right? Look at this. So now what somebody in chat has just said, DC, said that they seen on Banfield or News Nation that now the lawyer is saying that he walked his friends to the door and said goodbye. So which is it? Is he lying here, or is he lying on Banfield? Because this lawyer, it's highlighted right there in front of you for you guys to read. Picerno said Willis went to sleep and never saw the men leave. Now he's saying he walked them to the door. Before he had said just this, that he had gone to sleep. They were outside. He got tired. He went to sleep. Then he was saying that he went to sleep and never seen the men leave. But the prior comment said that he did see them go outside, but he got tired, so he just went upstairs to bed. So I'm seeing at least 3 right now, probably 4. So let's continue. He changed that story. Now he claims Willis went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out in his home. Then he goes on to say, oh, yeah, you do that when you're comfortable with people. Well, if you're so comfortable, why didn't you mention this 5th person? He also said that Willis, here's another one, The lawyer, this is Picerno, the lawyer, said Jordan Willis, who is the friend, never left his home once he got back on Sunday. And that's why he didn't notice the victim's car still there. Well, wait a minute. In a prior statement, you said that he had came and gone several times. Which one is it? This lawyer is lying, changing his story. He also claims that his client didn't hear anyone banging on the doors over 2 days. Nor did he hear Clayton McKinney's fiance break in and scream his name, but minutes later he heard police knock on the door. What? It doesn't make sense, you guys. Hello, Debbie. Debbie says, Will, I've been listening to you like forever. Thank you so much for all your readings. You're very welcome. I got some more. A lot of people are requesting updated reads on Summer Wells, an updated read on the Rio case. A family member, actually, I think it's her ex-husband that has requested that I do an updated read. I'd have to look back in the comments, and right now I can't even get to it. I've got a pounding headache because my sinuses are acting up. Yeah. So there's going to be some updated reads coming on some of the cases I've already done reads on, you guys. Yes, keeps changing his comments. Yes, I hope, and hello, Karen. And Mary, hello. Mary says the cops need to check security cameras. I'm sure they're doing that. You're right, Terry. I agree. Summer is never had a hard time with words. Where's Mary Michael? Right, Summer? I was just thinking that. You read my mind, girl. Okay, and then he says, the lawyer says, Willis has since moved out of the house for the families there just want justice and a story that makes sense to them. Somebody has to end up in custody over it, regardless of any situation. They are at your house and 3 people are dead. Kansas City police are still waiting on the results from the medical examiner to determine the cause of death. It could be weeks before they get results from autopsy and other tests. Now, I'm going to let you know, I do know this from all the years that I worked in criminal law. It sometimes takes forever to get toxicology tests back. Now, basic tests like alcohol in the blood, those would come back really, really quick. But intense toxicology testing for, how can I say, I want to say this properly because I don't want nobody to take offense. There's a lot of people out there that abuse drugs. So the first test they're going to run is going to be like on, you know, that drink that you can drink, Coca-Cola, something that is kind of like that, you know. I don't want to say the word. They're going to test for that. They're going to test for weed. They're going to test for normal, known, illegal substances that people use. They're going to test for that right away. But there are other things that people could be given and poisoned that are not usually found in toxicology reports because they have to be specifically looked for. So if these tests are coming back and something isn't evident, there's a problem. Number one, there's a problem already because these are 3 grown men. They're not going to just sit out there and freeze to death. If they can't get in, they can't get somebody open. And who locks the door behind them, right? If this guy is now saying that he went to bed and the friends were hanging out, if they went outside, who locked them out there? Why couldn't they get back in the house? That door had to have been locked. Why couldn't you hear somebody banging on the door? The only 3 were found outside. Where'd the 5th one go and when and how and why? Where? Right? And 3 grown men like that would have, oh my God, we can't get in, would have either broken in or walked to someplace warm trying to get a hold of somebody. They're not going to just leave themselves. 3 grown men, they're not stupid. They're not going to just stay out there to die or freeze to death. And I don't think it fell below freezing. I think it was like 38 degrees. So it's like there's so many. Why was one found on the deck and the other 2 found way in the backyard? Why? There are so, and what was this 5th person doing when they were out there? Oh, sorry, you guys. I hit the mute button by accident. Right? It's just there's so many stories, you guys, and that's why I stick to verified information here, what I can verify. Okay, so since the beginning of this investigation, KCPD has kept the Platte County Prosecutor's Office up to speed in the progress. Whoa, wait a minute. I thought that they're saying there's no foul play. So why are they talking to the prosecutor's office? See what I mean? Like a lot of people, you guys that aren't familiar with how things work and legal stuff and whatnot, that's why I guess it kind of helps me here because I did work in the legal field for 30 years in criminal law, actually over 30 years. I pick up on stuff like this. Why is the prosecutor's office involved? Why are they keeping the Platte County prosecutor's office up to date, up to speed, when they're saying there's no foul play, right? And they reiterate again, Willis is not facing charges. Okay, if you're saying there's no foul play and Jordan Willis, the person who lived at that home, is not being charged or facing, why do you have to keep the Platte County prosecutor's office up to speed in progress? What I believe is they're making Jordan Willis feel comfortable. What do you guys think? We just found out about this fifth person, Nancy. We just found out about this, and I'll go back to the beginning. Attorney now says fifth person was at Kansas City home where 3 men were found deceased. This what first came out last night at 9:49 p.m. and then was updated at 10:38 p.m. This is hours and hours, probably 6-7 hours after my read. Where my read, the title of my read, if you want to go back, click on the live tab, yesterday's read, my thumbnail said, someone else was there. Something along them lines. Someone else was there. Hang on a sec. Here. Pause it. So I can show you guys. Here it is right here. This is my read from yesterday, you guys. The title of my read is Someone Else Was There. It came out in the read. If you guys want to go and check out this read, go check it out. This was streamed yesterday, January 22nd, 2024. Oh, okay. It doesn't say the time, but I think I released it. Maybe somebody in chat will remember when it was released. I believe it was around noon yesterday that this came out. And it came out in my Ancestor read because before this, the lawyer never said nothing about a fifth person being there. There was only 4 that we knew of, the homeowner and the 3 friends. And I say homeowner, even though we know he was renting that house. I'm saying homeowner so we don't get it confused. Hello, Hockey Mama. Nice to see you again, my dear. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Midnight, hello. So I believe I came out with this at around noon yesterday. Then what came out was the news last night around 10 o'clock last night. The lawyer comes out and states, oh, by the way, there was another person there. Well, we already knew that because it came out in my read earlier that day, that morning. Right? So that is interesting, right? Let me just see. Oops, dang it. There was another article here that I wanted to. Okay, where'd it go? I can't access a lot of these, you guys, because I'm in Canada. I can't even access some of my Canadian news. It's blocked. Let me just see this one. I think it was in here that I seen it. Okay. Let me share this one with you. I'm not sure if this is the one, but let's just jump through it, because see this friend of 3 Chiefs fans who froze to death in his backyard claims he had no idea until cops showed up to his door 2 days after the party, but furious family claims he was unreachable. Okay, so this was published yesterday also. I want to go back. Hang on. It's not the one I was looking for, you guys. I want to go back to the one he made a few days ago. Is it this one? Okay, let me just find it. Police are saying no obvious signs of foul play. This was 7 days ago. I'm trying to find where that lawyer. Okay. What? A person that lives in the home, the outlet reported, said the man allegedly told police his friends froze to death. Police say they could not say what date the men visited the home or why the person in the home did not contact police prior to report the bodies. These details will be part of the ongoing investigation. Hang on. Okay, so it's not this one. I gotta find that. I gotta go back days ago. Okay, 4 days ago. Okay, so this was 4 days ago. Let me see. Oh, I think I found it, you guys. I'm sorry, you guys. Plucky little puppet, hello. Kim French, hello. Thank you, Plucky, for popping in. This is true, Kim. We talked about that right at the beginning of the video. Okay, let me just see. Okay, so what this is saying, and this is News Nation, so I'm not going to, hell with it. I'm going to show you. Is it this one? Yes. I'm sorry, you guys. My sinuses are so blocked right now, and my head is pounding. That's why my head is hurting right now. Okay, so initial gathering, Sunday, January 7th. David, Ricky, and Clayton went to a friend's house to watch Kansas City's games. The game kicked off at 3:25 p.m. and ended almost exactly 3 hours later, according to a post on the team's social media. For the next 50 hours or so, loved ones heard nothing from the 3 men. Okay? So it ended 3 hours later, which would bring it to 6:30 at night. Okay? Who goes to bed at 6:30 at night? Okay, so let's continue. The fiance of one of the men showed up at the home and started banging on the door. This is on Tuesday, but no one answered. She broke through the basement window, found one man dead on the back porch, and called the police, who found other 2 men also deceased in the backyard. Wow. Police issued a statement the next morning, said they found no obvious signs of foul play. Search wasn't required to enter the residence because of the homeowner's cooperation. That's Jordan Willis, right? Friday. The 3 victims' bodies are identified. Thursday, Jacob Bacina, a spokesman for the Kansas City Police Department, sent News Nation a statement saying the next phase of the investigation would be to receive the medical examiner's determination. That would be the thing that would drive any additional investigative steps. There's no change in the preliminary investigations. Unanswered questions. Okay, so autopsies were conducted on all three men Tuesday, and the results are pending, a medical examiner said. Ugh. The TV tried multiple times to reach out to the homeowner, no avail. He moved out the very next day on the Wednesday after the bodies were found. So, yeah, I'm thinking about that midnight. Thank you. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There's no way the one guy can get three huge guys like that into a freezer and then put them outside and all that. It doesn't make any sense. Then use it a U-Haul to get rid of the freezer. What? Nancy, what? That is so off the wall. I'm sorry. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm just saying that is right off the wall. Right off the wall. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, so the brother's already saying things don't add up. Although Johnson, Harrington, and McGeaney had been inseparable, the brother, whose brother? Johnson's brother, said that he did not know the person's house that they were found at, but the other three friends that were found deceased were inseparable. I don't like to speculate very much, Price said, but my brother was a smart man, and there's no way that he would just freeze to death. Exactly, that's what I said. Freezing to death is not a cause of death that I would expect. Harrington's mother is furious. I'm with you. Nobody believes this story. None of his friends, none of the families, none of us believe it. Oh, damn it. Okay, so this one isn't it. Okay, let me go on this search. Hang on a sec, you guys. I'm going to have to go back like 7 days ago. Okay, there's something here just updated like not even an hour ago. Man whose three friends froze to death in his backyard after Chiefs game say he had nothing to do with the deaths. That's what his attorney is saying. Okay, here we go. So now look at what, okay, hang on. I'm going to share this, but I can't bounce back. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to share this a different way. Hang on. Can I do it this way so I can bounce back? Yes. Okay. Where did that go? Okay. So look at this, you guys. I got more. Where the lawyer's lying again just 51 minutes ago. This was last night at 10 o'clock. The attorney has now changed his story. He now claims Willis went to sleep while the three victims and the fifth man continued to hang out in his home. He apparently has told Banfield recently that he walked them to the door and said goodbye. But now last night he said he went to sleep while the three victims and the fifth man continued to hang out in his home. Now, days after watching this, blah, 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 John Picerno, who is representing Jordan Willis, tells people in a statement that his client is unaware how his friends died and is actually okay. According to Inside Edition, three friends came over, blah, blah, blah. The lawyer claims that the last time his client saw the men was when they left his house and he went to bed. Okay? He said, look at what he's saying right now. This is 51 minutes ago, 11:24 a.m. today. He says, now Jonathan, what's his name? Jordan, who is the friend's house that they went to. Jordan now claims the last time he saw the men was when they left his house and he went to bed. Wait a minute. Last night, the lawyer said that claims Willis, which is Jordan Willis, went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out at his home. That's what was said last night. That Jordan said he went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out at his home. But now today, 51 minutes ago, he says the last time his client saw the men was when they left his house and he went to bed. And in another statement, the lawyer told, apparently Banfield, that he walked his friends to the door and said goodbye. You see why I'm getting a little... What? Was the lawyer the 5th person there? This is craziness, you guys. Give me a second, you guys. I got to take 2 Tylenol. Give me a second. Okay. This is not making any sense whatsoever. This is not making any sense whatsoever. Can you guys see this? He now claims this was 51 minutes ago. After last night, he said that he went to sleep while the 3 victims and the 5th man continued to hang out in the home. That was said last night at 10 o'clock. That's what the lawyer said. And now the lawyer is saying the last time his client saw the men was when they left his house and he went to bed. And there's another one that apparently he's telling News Nation that he walked his friends to the door and said goodbye. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm just going over this now. So this is, you're seeing it for the first time like me. This was 51 minutes ago. 2 days later, a woman went searching for her fiance and found a body on Willis's porch. It was on the back deck, not his porch. Kansas City police responded to a call. They found a dead body upon further investigation. Okay. Okay, so now they're saying there's no obvious signs of foul play or observed at or near the crime scene. I disagree. Okay, so here again, the lawyer is speaking again right here. This is the lawyer, Jonathan, tells people that Willis does not know the timing or manner of their deaths, nor does he know how or when they exited his house. He had no knowledge that they remained in his backyard. Like, he keeps changing his story all over. Yes, welcome to the shit show. That's why, you guys, if you look in the description of this video, you will see a link to my bonfire where I have a t-shirt, hoodie, a sweatshirt with "Welcome to the Shit Show" on the front. And it says Above and Beyond Ancestor trial version. Because I do both. I do readings and then I continue to follow through with each case that I've done a read on from start to finish. So I guess, like, there's a lot of people saying, oh, I thought you just did reads. I do reads, but I also continue to follow through with the cases that I do reads on right through to the end of a trial. And then we go back and look at the reads that I did, sometimes 2-3 years before a verdict, to see exactly how much was so accurate. Sordon, a member for 4 months. I think you've been a member longer than that. Willow, what fiance waits days before going to find their person, especially if no text calls? I know myself. Yes, I said this in my last video. I would have been banging down the door the next morning when he wasn't in bed beside me. It's like, what the hell? Start calling, texting, you're not answering. I'd be going over, banging on the door. Like that would have been done immediately the next morning when he wasn't home. Oh, thank you, Terry. Okay. Okay, so upon arriving at his rental property, police spoke to Jordan Willis and he allowed them into the house. Now, apparently, Jordan is a scientist, okay? So far, we've seen it right here, you guys, in black and white. We've caught this lawyer lying 3 times about when Jordan last seen his friends. Now we are also finding out, but it had already come out in my read yesterday morning, that read came out, that there was a 5th person, and we're just finding this out now. He's just coming clean. I wonder if he's seen my thumbnail and went, uh-oh, better say something. I'm just playing, you guys. But you never know. 2 of the victims' cars were parked on his street, which had been one of the things that tipped off McGinney's fiance, who found the first body. However, the lawyer says it wasn't unusual for Willis's friends to have left their cars there overnight. Yes, I agree. They're at my house drinking. They took a cab home. But what doesn't make sense, Mr. Lawyer, although it wouldn't be unusual if I had a bunch of friends over and they were all drinking for them to leave their cars here and take an Uber or something home. It wouldn't be unusual. But what is unusual in that scenario, Mr. Lawyer, is that their wallets, their keys, and their phones were in your house on the table or somewhere there. Who goes to your friend's house and takes out your wallet and puts it on the table and leaves your keys there and your phone there when you leave? That's what's unusual, Mr. Lawyer. And what's also unusual is your 3 different statements you have made about the last time this guy seen his friends. And up until 10 o'clock last night, you didn't mention the 5th person there, but it came out in my read yesterday morning. It didn't come out in the news until last night, but it came out in my reads that you guys all seen yesterday morning. So this Jordan is not facing charges in the case, which police are calling a death investigation. And what I find weird about this too is, why are they keeping the prosecution up to date on what they're finding if they're not suspicious? They're saying that it doesn't look like any foul play. Then why is the prosecutor's office involved, and why are you have to keep them up to date hourly? If there's no foul play, the prosecutor's office would not be involved. The only time the prosecutor's office gets involved is when the police goes to them because something's suspicious, or that they're building a case to charge somebody. He's known them for over 20 years. He just wants answers. That's what his lawyers are saying. Well, if he wants answers, why don't you start with getting the correct version of the truth from your client? Because first, he goes to bed. He's seen them go outside. He went to bed. He was tired. Second story is he went to bed, and the 4 of them were all still partying when he went to bed. They were inside the house partying. So that's the second one. The third one we just heard now was that, what was it? He walked them to the door and said goodbye. And like, there's just too many. Why don't you start by, if your client wants answers, he holds the answers, because there's 3 or 4 different versions now of how he didn't know that these people, his friends of 20 years, were out froze to death on his back porch and in his backyard. How did he not know something was wrong when he seen their wallets, keys, and cell phones and their cars still out front? The next morning, yes, but 2 days later, Tuesday, their cars are still there? And you don't think nothing's wrong? Their wallets and keys and everything? How could they even take their car if their keys were locked in your house? And you weren't answering the door to anybody. How do you know that one of them weren't the ones banging on your door? Why didn't you answer your door? You knew If it wasn't unusual and they'd come back the next day for their vehicles, you knew their wallets and keys and everything were in your house. Why wouldn't you answer the door so your friends could get their cars? For 2 days. Red flags, red flags, red flags. We don't know who the fifth person is yet, but I know it came out in my read that there was another person there. That was yesterday morning, and now they just came out with it late last night, like around 10:30 last night. But we knew when my read came out at noon that there was a fifth person. That's why the thumbnail says what it does, you guys. Someone else was there. You can find it under my live. I will actually grab a link to it here. Get a shareable link. And I will put it right here for you guys. There's the read. So if you guys want to check out that read that I did, there's the link to it. It was done yesterday. It was released at around noon. He's deeply hurt by their passing. If you were so deeply hurt, why aren't you telling the truth? Right? Why aren't you telling the truth? Why did it take... We're the 23rd. Why did this not come out weeks ago that there was a fifth person there? It came out in my read yesterday morning. Why did you only bring it out last night? Why? Why? Why are you lying? Why is your client lying? Why are there 3 or 4 different stories about the last time he's seen them? And then you're going to try and have us believe that your client didn't see their possessions, their wallet, their keys, their cell phones in your house and their car's still out front. People banging on your door for 2 days, you don't answer it, but their cars are out front and you got their keys. If you loved and cared about your friends and you're such good friends and this is normal for them to leave their cars there and take an Uber home because they were drinking and come back. Usually the next day, somebody will come back to get their car. But they couldn't even get their car because you had their keys and their wallets and everything. But you didn't answer your door to the banging. Were you drunk for the next 2 days? That you couldn't hear people banging? A woman breaking into your house and screaming her fiance's name? You don't hear that. But just moments later, you hear the police banging on your door? What? Okay, so 12:30, so just after noon yesterday. Yes, I knew it was around noon that I released it. Hey, Red Fingernails, nice to see you. Angie, nice to see you. I wish we knew who that fifth person was. Midnight Baker, nice to see you. Midnight Baker says, fifth man is known friend of group. No mystery there. Well, Midnight Baker, the mystery is that the lawyer never mentioned a fifth person being there until last night at 10:30. Why didn't he say there was a fifth person that was there with them that night when he was first interviewed? Why didn't Jordan Willis ever say anything about this fourth friend that came over? He only said there was 3. He never mentioned the fourth friend that came to his home until last night. And he's given 3 different stories that I know of that I can verify in documents right here, not documents, but interviews that the lawyer is giving. The lawyer has given 3 different stories of the last time he's seen his friends. One, he says his friends were left, went outside, so he went to bed. He was tired. The second one, he said he went to bed and his friends were still downstairs partying. The third, he says to Banfield that he walked his friends to the door and said goodbye. And there was another one too. Yeah, there's a big mystery. And not mentioning that there was another person there until last night. They only mentioned that last night. Why didn't they say that weeks ago when this happened? Why'd they only say there was 3 friends there? What are they hiding? Sydney, I have lots of sinus issues. Ginger root? I've never heard that, but hey, I will try anything. Just me says, question, if police found dead bodies multiple in my or your backyard, would they not immediately take us in for questioning? I would think so. I would think so. Just me, JB. There's a lot of unanswered questions here, my dear. We don't know. We don't know. Sort on. Willow, I got a legal question. I know they went through the home, but with his story changing, is that enough for probable cause for a warrant to get the metadata? From what I understand, he allowed them to go through his home, so they didn't need a warrant. Now, when they were going through the home initially, the homeowner allows them in, so they don't need a warrant to look through the house, whatever. But if they see something that they think could be evidence of a wrongdoing or something like that, they would need to get a warrant for it. Now, as far as the phones and that go, yes, even though these people are deceased, they will need warrants to get any metadata from any of their phones. They would need a warrant. None of the companies give up that information easily, even with warrants. So yes, warrants will have to be written. Not a very good lawyer that goes public contradictory stories. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, please smash that like. Please subscribe. If you can afford it, and only if you can afford it. Super chats, PayPal, always welcome. It helps me out to continue to be able to put time aside to pop on and do things like this. And it shows your appreciation for what I'm doing. So, and only if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, being here, hitting that like, sharing this out, becoming a subscriber, all helps. And that's all free to do. Yeah, he had 2 days, right? If he is involved with something nefarious, he had 2 days to get things done. The lawyer did mention a 5th man. This is an interview that he gave. This is an interview he gave. The lawyer gave this interview to this news station. The lawyer for that homeowner. A lawyer. I think that's pretty verified. But the thing is, he's given 3 different accounts. And I don't have to confirm that with law enforcement when the lawyer for this guy is coming out with these statements. Anything is possible, Lane. Yeah, I've got it right here. Summer Dawn. It's right up on screen. Attorney says 5th person was at Kansas City home where 3 men were found. Fox 4 is hearing from the attorney. Get this? He gave Fox 4 an interview. Fox 4 is hearing from the attorney of the man who used to live in the home and has since moved out. Fox had reported earlier that there was a U-Haul seen outside of Jordan Willis's home. Yes, he moved out the next day after the bodies were found. And now his attorney confirms. So there's your confirmation. Believe me, I don't go live with information unless I believe it's verified and it's the truth. The attorney confirms with Fox 4 that he has, in fact, moved out and that there was a fifth person at the house with Willis and the three victims, and that his client went to sleep while those four men were still up hanging out in the house. Yet he says over here that, where was it now? Oh, I can't with this. Here it is right here. Okay. Picerno, which is his lawyer, claims that the last time his client saw the men was when they left his house and he went to bed. This is today. Yesterday, the attorney confirms that there was a fifth person at the house with Willis and the three victims, and that his client went to sleep while those four men were still up hanging out in the house. Yes, just the lawyer just came out with that Midnight Baker last night at 10:30. But my read came out yesterday at around noon Eastern, and my read told me there was somebody else there. And I know a few people retweeted that and everything. So there's a lot of people that seen that. But the thing is, he only came out with it last night. Why didn't he come out with it 2 weeks ago when these gentlemen were found deceased? And 2 weeks ago, he says, okay, well, this is all my client knows. They went outside and he went to bed. And now he's totally changing all of that over and over and over and over and over again. His stories are not adding up. And these are all from interviews that lawyer gave that are confirmed from that lawyer. The lawyer said this. Just like over here. Okay, so now he is saying the attorney confirms with Fox 4. So Fox 4 talked to the attorney that he moved out and there was a fifth person at the house with Willis and the three victims, and that his client went to sleep while those four men were still up and hanging out in the house. This is just 51 minutes ago. But last night, he says the last time his client saw the men was when they left. Look at this. Was when they left his house and he went to bed. When they left his house. But last night, the last time he seen the victims was when his client went to sleep while those four men were still up hanging out in the house. You see where I'm catching him? This lawyer has out and out lied. Yes, he moved out the next day on the Wednesday. So, I mean, I think there's going to be more and more and more. I can't stay on here much longer, you guys. But I do appreciate you guys all coming and seeing. But if something else pops off, I will jump back on here. The homeowner is covering for the fifth guy. Possibly. That's not out of the equation, Summer. So thank you for that comment. Kim Frenchie moved out the very next day. And I mean, I think I'm not going to hold that to him as something nefarious, but I'm going to say I wouldn't live there if three of my friends were just found dead. I'd be out of there, right? So I ain't going to hold that against them. But what I am going to say is for 2 days, you've seen their wallets, their keys, their phones, their cars, people banging down your door. Hello? Is anybody out there? There's no way. There's no way. Oh, yeah, I'd be out too. Okay, so with that, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give this video a like, share it out. If anything else pops off, make sure you are subscribed so you are going to get notified if I find something else. And as soon as I find something else, I will jump back on here and I will let you guys know. I will save the Brian Koberger stuff till tomorrow and keep the rest of today open and free in case anything else does pop off, because I know you guys are going to want to hear about it. So, yeah, I wish I could too, Midnight, but I can't. I'm blocked. You know what, Midnight, you want to hear something really messed up? I can't even get some of the Canadian content. They got us blocked from that too. So you have to subscribe to their channels, like with these different packages that you can get for cable, or if you're subscribed to cable, you might be able to get some of it. But yeah, we can't even get some of the news stuff from Canada. They're saying because they're losing too much money from fan base or watchers on TV because everybody's seeing it on the internet and we're getting it for free on the internet. So they cut us. It's horrible. DC, you too. You have a great day too. And like I said, Nita Phillips, you're welcome. Love you too. Take care. Everybody, thank you. K Mitch too. Stardust, you're very welcome, my dear. So make sure you subscribe, you guys. Hit the notification bell. I will pop back on here if I hear anything else, okay? So with that being said, you're very welcome, you guys. I love you guys to the moon back. I'm going to end it like I always do. And please, 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 please be careful. Always be aware of your surroundings. Stay safe out there. You never know what's going to pop off and where and when, okay? So until the next time, please take care. Please stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings. I love you guys to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.